My beautiful daughter, I love you. I can't let you get married to a human. They don't deserve you or your beauty. You are greater than them. It will take only the strongest man on earth that can defeat even the gods or fight the spirit and conquer them will be worthy to marry you. So my daughter, no man has or will ever defeat and conquer the spirits in this world. Just live your life happily on earth. I didn't bring you to this world to suffer, but rather to enjoy all the riches on earth. I will always watch over you till the day you decide to return to us.
Few days later, Ibekwe stopped eating Adamma's food. He rejected everything. He even stopped talking to her. The other wives were surprised at his behavior towards his favorite wife, Adamma. They were even happy that he no longer gives her more attention. One day, Ibekwe went to a neighboring village to visit a native doctor to know if he would find a solution to his problem because he loves his daughter Mmirimma so much. When he got there, he met an old native doctor. He narrated his problems to him and asked if he has any solution. But the native doctor replied, "This problem is beyond me. There is no solution for it. Only the gods has the answer to your problems. But they are silent. Now go home and wait for the gods." Ibekwe stood up and left. He was becoming more and more worried and always hoped and prayed that the gods will answer him one day. Mmirimma went to her mother to question and ask her why she always rejects suitors that comes her way. Her mother had to tell her the truth about the mystery behind her birth and where she came from. This got Mmirimma angry that she ran out of her father's compound and ran to the stream that night. When she got to the river, it was lonely and quiet. She sat down beside the river and started crying. She cried for a long time. That suddenly she started hearing splashes from the river as if someone was walking through it. She looked up and saw a beautiful woman coming out from the river. She became scared and terrified. But the woman said to her,
Do not be afraid, my daughter, for I will not harm you. Come closer and let me touch you, my beautiful daughter.
Mmirimma was shocked as why she called her daughter. She asked the river queen, "Are you my river mother? For I was told I came from the river." The goddess nodded. Mmirimma continued, "Please, don't take me away from here. I want to stay and get married and be happy." The goddess replied,
My beautiful daughter, I love you. I can't let you get married to a human. They don't deserve you or your beauty. You are greater than them. It will take only the strongest man on earth that can defeat even the gods or fight the spirit and conquer them that will be worthy to marry you. So my daughter, no man has ever or will ever defeat and conquer the spirit in this world. Just live your life happily on earth. I didn't bring you to this world to suffer, but rather to enjoy all the riches on earth. I will always watch over you till the day you decide to return to us.
After telling her everything, she smiled, waved at Mmirimma and disappeared into the river. Mmirimma was still scared and shaken up at what she just witnessed at the river. She stood up and ran home. The words of the river queen kept ringing in her ear. She wished that such strongest man do exist and would come and save her from these troubles. Mmirimma did not tell her mom what she witnessed at the river. She just kept it to herself. Few days after the incident, suitors were still coming. Rumors were all over the village that Mmirimma is an Omanje. That is why she refused to marry. That maybe if she married, she would not give birth or maybe die. These rumors started getting to Mmirimma that she refused going out again. Even some of her few friends stopped visiting her. One fateful day, Mmirimma decided to go fetch firewood for her mother. She went deep into the forest searching for firewood till she got lost and couldn't locate her way home. She kept wandering around the forest. She started regretting going that far. The day was already ended, but Mmirimma still couldn't locate her way home. Even her mother started getting worried at home and even went to look for her. As Mmirimma was wandering around the forest, she heard a gunshot from a distance. She became terrified but later got hold of herself and decided to scream that whatever or whoever that it is that shot the gun will come help her. So she screamed help. Few seconds later, a very huge, built, handsome young man emerged from the forest. Mmirimma was speechless at the human god standing in front of her. The young man had to interrupt her thinking and ask her, "Beautiful one, what are you doing here all alone in this kind of forest?" Mmirimma narrated everything to him and how she needs help going home. The young man agreed to help her. As they were going home, the young man was admiring Mmirimma's beauty. He was captivated by the beauty. He has never seen that kind of beauty in his life before. He was fascinated by her. He had to break the silence and said, "What is your name, beautiful one?" Mmirimma answered him, "My name is Mmirimma, daughter of Ibekwe, the great hunter and farmer in Umuaku village." The young man replied back, "My name is Agunwa. I'm from the Umunna village. It's a little bit far from your village. I'm a hunter and wrestler too. I can go a long distance from my village to hunt as long as it will get me a big meat." Mmirimma laughed at his jokes. Agunwa took Mmirimma to her father's compound to make sure she was safe, because it was already night. The young man saw Ibekwe and Mmirimma's mother. She greeted them. They thanked him for bringing their daughter home safe. Ibekwe even offered for him to stay and eat, but Agunwa objected and promised to come back again. He said his goodbye to Mmirimma and his parents and left. Few days later, after the incident, Mmirimma kept dreaming about Agunwa, wishing to meet him again. Even her parents had caught and seen her smiling to herself and mentioning his name. She wished she could get married to him one day. One fateful day, Agunwa surprisingly visited them again. Mmirimma was shocked, surprised and happy. He brought a very big meat for them. Ibekwe and his wife thanked him. Ibekwe called him out to discuss with him. He asked Agunwa whose son he was. Agunwa replied, "I'm Agunwa, the son of Obiago, from Umunna village." Ibekwe nodded and they left. Few hours later, Agunwa left. Mmirimma was so happy and overjoyed that Agunwa visited. Her father had to remind her of her predicament and told her to remove her heart and mind from him. Mmirimma went ahead to tell them about her encounter with the river goddess and what she said about a man that would be worthy to marry her. That maybe Agunwa might be the right person for her. The parents were taken back at what she just said. They all wished it was true. Agunwa kept visiting Mmirimma and her family. He later declared his intentions to them that he wants to marry Mmirimma. They became worried and had to sincerely tell him the circumstances surrounding their daughter. Agunwa then revealed to them that he came from the lineage of the greatest spiritualist, that his grandfather was one of the strongest and powerful native doctors their village has ever had, that his strong blood runs through him, so he is not scared of death or any spirit. Ibekwe and his wife had mixed feelings from what they heard. Agunwa was ready to do anything to marry Mmirimma. Ibekwe had to ask Agunwa to go home and discuss with his family, then come back when they have made a decision. He agreed and left. 2 days later, Agunwa returned with his father to meet Ibekwe. Ibekwe had to ask Agunwa's father if he agreed and wants his son to marry his daughter, knowing her predicament. He replied, "Agunwa is my only son. I love him, but he is old enough to know what he wants. I support every decision he makes. My son has never made the wrong decision. He is very strong and smart, so if he wants to go on with this, then who am I to stop him? I will always be proud of him." Ibekwe agreed. They all decided to go see the same great native doctor that his wife went to see years back. The next day, when they got there, they met the native doctor who already told them that he knew they were coming and that he knew that a day like this would come and why they came. They all kept quiet as he did some incantations. He then said,
Whosoever that will marry Mmirimma would be worthy and strong enough to fight the spirits in the spirit world. And for Mmirimma to be saved and liberated, the man will have to go into the spirit world to get a big white egg, then come back safely. Give it to Mmirimma. Then she will break it inside the river to separate herself from them.
They all nodded and he continued.
The journey will be a very hard one. He might not return because no human has ever gone into the spirit world alive and returned alive. But before he goes, he must be fortified. He must live on the Ekede.
They all agreed and left the shrine and went home. When they got home, Ibekwe discussed with Agunwa. He even tried changing Agunwa's mind from going, that he might not return. But Agunwa insisted that he would go because he loved Mmirimma so much, that he must save her and marry her. The next Ekede, they all gathered at the shrine for Agunwa's journey. The native doctor fortified him and gave him some things that will help him fight the spirits and also protect him. After the fortification, the native doctor then said to him, "Make sure you return home before the next Ekede. If not, you'll be stuck in the land of the spirit forever." Agunwa nodded. He said his goodbyes to his father, Ibekwe, and his wife, and went to hug Mmirimma the longest. She cried and prayed he returned home soon. "You have to go now," said the native doctor. He said his last goodbye and left. They all stood there watching him leave with the terrified and sad faces. They all left the shrine and went home. Mmirimma has not been herself since Agunwa left. She hardly eats nor sleep or even talk to anyone. All she does is to cry. She even ran to the river one day to call out her river mother, but she didn't show up. She sadly went home and prayed for Agunwa's safe return. Agunwa was already walking through the evil forest. He had to pass 7 evil rivers and 7 evil forests to get to where he is going. It's going to be a long journey. He passed the first 3 rivers and forests at ease. he didn't really encounter any dangerous thing on the way. As he was about to cross the other 7 rivers and forests, he started seeing and encountering evil spirits on his way, even wild animals. They picked a fight with him. He had to fight them. He was wounded in most of the fight, but he still came out victorious. When he was about to enter and cross the 7 river and evil forest, that was where he encountered the most deadly and dangerous spirits and wild animals. They all fought him. Agunwa, being the brave man he is, fought and killed almost all of them. Some disappeared with fear. This news already had traveled to the spirit kingdom, that a human entered their world and won almost the whole spirit in a fight. This got the whole spirit land shocked. They have never seen that kind of brave human before. Agunwa entered the spirit kingdom where he will be given the egg. He first met with the king of the spirit, who said to him,
I have never seen such a foolish brave man before. Are you trying to sacrifice your life because of a common girl? She is not of your world. Why are you going this far for her?
Agunwa replied him, It's because I love her. Love can make you do stupid things. The spirit king said to him again,
Love. I have seen and heard about love, but I've never seen a human sacrificing their life for someone because of love. You humans are known to be too selfish and greedy to do such. You're one of a kind. Your type is rare. I want to give you 2 options, but I will only grant you 1 wish from it. I will give you the whole riches and wealth in this world. You will be known all over the world for your success and wealth. Kings will be at your feet. Your lineage will never be poor. They will forever be rich and successful. They will be known for their success from generation to generation. Or do you want me to give you the egg and forfeit all the wealth? Make a wise choice, brave human, and be careful what you wish for.
Agunwa was silent for some minutes and thought about it. He thought about the wealth, and he also thought about how his life would be without Mmirimma. He knows that those wealth will bring him many wives and children, but will he be happy in this life? He thought about it for some minutes, then spoke out. I choose love, peace, and happiness over wealth, so therefore give me the egg. Are you sure? Think again, dear human, said the spirit king. I am sure. Give me the egg, Agunwa replied. If you say so, replied the king. He ordered one of his guards to go get the egg. He got it and gave it to the king. The king gave it to Agunwa and said, Take this egg. Do not allow the egg to break or crack on your way, because you will encounter a lot of troubles on your way. These are the sacrifices you make for love. You already know what you will do with the egg once you get home. Agunwa nodded. Agunwa humbly thanked him and left. It was almost reaching the Eke day, and he had to leave the spirit world before then, or he'll be stuck there forever. On his way, he still met a lot of evil spirits. Some were fighting him, and some were trying to steal the egg from him at night. He had to continue fighting them till he crossed the whole 7 rivers and 7 evil forests. It was a day before the Eke day. The day he was supposed to return, he entered into the human world. He ran straight to the shrine, and surprisingly, he saw his father, Ibekwe, and Mmirimma already waiting for him. When they all saw him, they were so happy and went to hug him. He presented the egg to the native doctor. Well done, my son, the native doctor said. I have never witnessed this in my life. The gods truly loves you. The ritual will be done tomorrow, which is the Eke day, at the riverside. where she would break the egg inside the river alone. They all agreed and went home to prepare for the sacrifices. Mmirimma was the happiest among them. They all had to sleep over at Ibekwe's house. The next day, they all gathered at the shrine very early in the morning to perform the ritual. They brought everything necessary for the ritual and went down to the stream. When they got to the river, everywhere was quiet. The river was so calm and quiet. The native doctor had to perform some rituals to call out the river goddess and for her to accept their sacrifice. They dropped everything inside the basket and put it on top the river. Few minutes later, the water started making noise and was splashing. The basket filled with the sacrifices disappeared. They were so happy she accepted their sacrifice. The native doctor gave Mmirimma the egg and they all left her to be alone. Mmirimma broke the egg inside the river and stood there staring at it. Suddenly, she started hearing noises from the river. She looked up and saw the river goddess coming out and smiling at her. The river goddess said to her,
My beautiful, beautiful daughter, I can see you are happy now. I am happy too. All I want is for you to have the best. Agunwa is the best and the right person for you. You both deserve each other. I will bless your marriage with him. I will bless you with the fruit of the womb. You shall become the mother of all nations. I will always be with you and protect you. I will always watch over you. I love you, my daughter. Go and live your life and be happy. You are free now. I will always love you. Bye for now.
She waved at Mmirimma and disappeared into the river. Thank you so much, river goddess, Mmirimma replied happily. She ran to her family and hugged them. I am free, finally. I am free, she said to them. She told them the encounter she had with the river goddess. They were all happy, especially her mother Adamma. Finally, people would stop laughing at her. They all went home happily. Few days later, Agunwa came with his people to marry Mmirimma. Mmirimma was so happy. She didn't believe she was getting married to the love of her life. The marriage rite and ceremony were performed, and Agunwa took his wife home happily. Ibekwe was so happy that his favorite daughter got married to the bravest and the strongest man in the whole village. The news about Mmirimma's marriage spread like wildfire throughout the whole village, and how her husband Agunwa almost sacrificed his life to save Mmirimma's life, all because of love. Some were envious of her, while some were truly happy for her. Few months later, Mmirimma's mother Adamma became pregnant and gave birth to twin boys. Ibekwe was so happy. He finally had other sons. He was the happiest man in the village. His first son became useless. The daughters from his other wives all had a failed marriage because of how their mother brought them up. Their husbands had to send them packing to their father's house. This didn't even bother Ibekwe. Him and his last wife Adamma lived happily with their two sons. Mmirimma and her husband Agunwa became so successful. They gave birth to many children and lived the happy life they deserved. The end. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the story. If you do, please comment what you love or learned from this story in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe and follow for more videos. Also like, comment and share this video. Thank you guys. Till next time. Bye.